Hi guys, this tutorial is going to be over how to add products to your Zencart web store. Um, First thing you would do once we logged in is go to Catalog, Categories and Products. Now here on the left you're going to see all your different categories. Now these are ones that I've already created. You're going to click on the category, hit New Product here. Alright. Now, the first thing you see is your product status. By default, this is always on in stock. The next thing you're going to see is your date available. So you're going to want to choose today's date. Now, in some instances, you might have a drop shipper who says, okay, we're going to get our products in on Friday, but here is the details for everything that we're getting in. And let's say today's Monday and you wanted to go ahead and add those, then you would just select the date for Friday. And what would happen is on Friday at midnight, or Thursday at midnight, those products would automatically show up on your website. But for this tutorial here, we'll just assume that it's an item that's already in stock. So you would choose today's date. Next, you would choose your manufacturer. We did go in a previous tutorial over how to create the manufacturers. If you've created them, they will show up here in this area. Next, you've got your product name. So this is where the name of your item would go. For this tutorial, we'll just say sunglasses. Alright, so next it asks for product is free, call for price, or price by attributes. You're probably not going to have a free product. You're probably not going to have people calling to get the price of a product. Price by attribute would be like sizes or colors or anything that's not a single product. So for example, if you've got a t-shirt and you've got a small, medium, and large that's on $9.99, but then you've got an extra large that's $10.99 and a 2X that's $11.99. Those items would be priced by attribute. Next, you would, under taxable goods or tax class, you would choose taxable goods. Here you'll put in the price of your product. Under that, it asks for product, or it says product is virtual. Yes, skip shipping address. No, shipping address required. A virtual product would be something like like an iTunes download or anything that they would download for view off the internet. If it's a physical product, obviously you're going to have to ship it to them, so you're going to need a shipping address. Next, we have always free shipping. Yes, always free shipping. No normal shipping rules. Really, that's going to be up to you. If you want to do free shipping, I would suggest choosing this right here. Yes, always free shipping. If you have other shipping rules already set up in your admin, then you wouldn't need to use that. You would just use your normal shipping rules. Next, we have product quantity box shows. This is what shows your customers how many you have in stock. I recommend using this box because sometimes people like to purchase more than one thing. Sometimes you might have Christmas time or holiday time, and if you have your quantity box showing, then it might show that you've got 2 or 3 items in stock. And if somebody's on there buying something and it's something they really like, they might see that you only have a small amount in stock and purchase more. Sometimes, like for instance, I've got 2 kids. So if my wife buys something for one of them and she thinks it's something they're gonna like, odds are she's probably gonna buy 2 of them. So that's what the product quantity box does. It just shows the customers how many you have in stock. Next, you've got product quantity minimum, maximum, and units. The minimum is the smallest amount that someone could buy. Now this button would be useful if you were selling wholesale. there are instances where people sell like lots of shirts or something where they have to buy 5 at a time. So if you were doing that, you would change this 1 to a 5. The maximum amount they could buy, by default it's set to 0. And what maximum is, you don't really see it too much online, but a lot of times, like at the grocery store, they might have a special on 2 liters of soda, and you can buy them for 79 cents, but you can only buy like up to 5. That's what this would be for. Now, by default, this is always going to be on 1, and this 5 here is always going to be on 0. Next, you've got the units. Units is kind of like the wholesale orders up there at the top. Under that, you've got your product description. Here, obviously, is where you're going to paste in or type in a description that's going to be supplied to you by your supplier. If, by default, they're going to have all that, the supplier will have all that on their website. You'll just simply come over and highlight it from the supplier's website and paste it in here. Next, you'll scroll down, you'll see product quantity. Now this is what tells your system, how many you have in stock. You always have to put something in here, because if you leave this blank, it's going to think that you don't have any in stock. It's not going to show the product up. Personally, I recommend that you would at least put about 4 or 5, on there. That gives you a low enough number that if your supplier's running out of something, you'll be able to check it and kind of know what they have. You want to check your products or your products quantity from your suppliers at least once a week. Some people, if it's a higher selling item or if it's something your suppliers don't have a lot of, you probably want to check it 2 or 3 times a week. So it's really going to be up to you, but for this I would at least put 4 or 5. Next, you've got your product model number. With the model number, that's going to come straight off your supplier's website. Basically, you're just going to paste it in here. Next, you've got your product image. So you click your browse button and select your image, and that's it. Under here it says delete image. Note: removes image from product. Image is not removed from server. If you're going to change out a product, for whatever reason, I would suggest hitting yes. This will take off the old image. What happens if you don't? Eventually your server ends up getting bogged down. You've got thousands of unused images on there that you don't have any use for. But this would you would only really need to check yes if you're switching out an image for whatever reason. Sometimes suppliers will get new images each year of products and stuff like that. Overwrite existing image on server, yes or no. Now, what this means, and I've only come across 3 or 4 suppliers throughout the years that do this, but if you had a supplier and for some reason they had all their images named the exact same thing, that you would want to hit no. I've like I said, over the last 10 years I've seen maybe 3 suppliers do this, and that was a long time ago. Nowadays almost every supplier is going to have a different name for their image. Next it says select an existing image file from server file name. That would be if you already had the file on your server. More than likely you're not. You're going to get it from your supplier. Once again, the product URL, you're probably not going to use this. It would be if you were getting the image off of your supplier's website. For example, back in the old days, the suppliers would, kind of keep the images on their website, and then you would come over and put in that link. It would look something like this. And what this did, in the old days, you had to pay, to have X amount of products on your hosting. Now most hosting is all unlimited, so it doesn't matter anyway. But this would keep you from having, having to pay more money. The suppliers would just host it for you, and you would pull the image directly off of their website. You will probably never use this, but if you do, this is exactly how you would do it. Next, you got your product shipping weight. Now this is important because your shipping is going to be based off the weight and off the distance that the item is shipped. The supplier is going to tell you how much the item weighs. You'll just come over here and put it in. Next, you've got your sort order. Now, with the sort order, this is if you wanted to put every product in order. By default, they're all set to 0, and the lowest number is going to be the first thing shown. So if you was going to use this, you would have to do every product every time. You would have to start with number 1, and that would be the first thing shown, and then the next product you would put in number 2, and so forth. If you didn't do that, and by default that 0 came in, your number 1 would be way down somewhere at the bottom. So the 0 will always show up before the 1. Now you can as well do you can do a -1, and that would put it before the 0. Most people don't put their products in any type of order. They just allow them to rotate. I mean, really, it's going to be up to you. But the next thing, over here on the bottom right hand side, you get the preview button. So then you would click it. Now we've got a couple red warnings up here. It says this product is marked free shipping. Shipping address is required, so we left the free shipping on. Free shipping module is required when all products in the order are always free shipping. The free shipping module, we'll go over that in a different tutorial, but it's under modules and shipping.